Top best Caribbean islands you should travel. The islands and territories that make up the Caribbean are justifiably renowned for their bountiful sunshine and beaches. But beyond the resorts lie an intoxicating variety of cultures, creatures and cuisine that rarely make the headlines. But with dozens of destinations to choose from, how to decide which to visit? We've selected 11 of the most engaging, where memorable adventures amid natural wonders await. 1. Go birdwatching in Tobago. Quiet and welcoming, Tobago is a top pick for twitchers, thanks to its forest, wetland and coastal habitats. The island's star attraction is the Main Ridge Forest Reserve, which was established in 1776 and is best explored via the Gilpin Trace Trail or less busy Spring Trail. Speyside, in the northeast, is close to both the reserve and Little Tobago Island, an offshore seabird sanctuary that's home to the likes of frigatebirds, sooty terns, brown boobies and Audubon's shearwaters. Most visitors want to see the blue-backed manakin, white-tailed saberwing and red-billed tropic bird, explains Newton George, a birdwatching guide who's been scouring the treetops for over 50 years. He and his wife Diane run the Hummingbird Gallery from their home in the village, the feeders on their garden veranda providing excellent photo opportunities. The nearby beachfront Blue Waters Inn, Speyside, makes a great base for further ornithological excursions. Birds are also a prime reason to visit adventure eco-villas on the west coast at Arnos Vale. This estate has a checklist of 48 species that can be seen around its 12 acres, including parrots, flycatchers and tanagers. 2. Hike with the locals in Barbados. A good way to explore the wealth of heritage and natural attractions is to join the 3-hour Sunday walks organized by the Barbados Hiking Association. These can attract 20 or more walkers, mainly islanders plus a few clued-up visitors. The fit can tackle a pacey, 12-mile, grin, and bear, hike, while the shorter and more relaxed, stop, and stare, version includes pauses to catch your breath and learn about the places en route. Which can range from a hillside where bituminous coal was once collected to the grave of Hollywood star Claudette Colbert, who died here in 1996. As well as getting the chance to chat with Bajans, the walks reveals the contrast between the island's highly developed west side and the wild and windy east coast, where surfers gather and life is more relaxed. For a taste of both, book a twin center trip combining the upmarket, self-catering suites at Little Good Harbor in the village of Shermans, and the 8-room Atlantis Historic Inn, overlooking Tent Bay. 3. Dive into the history of St. Kitts. Fancy having a UNESCO World Heritage Site all to yourself? That's how it can feel on a visit to Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park, a colossal, British-designed military citadel dating from 1690 that crowns the west coast of St. Kitts, offering expansive views to the neighboring Dutch island of St. Eustatius. Dubbed the Gibraltar of the West Indies and once home to over 1,000 soldiers and their families, it's filled with memories of the enslaved and the enlisted and includes an extensive museum. St. Kitts is considered the mother colony of the Leeward Islands. English and French settlers arrived here as early as the 1620s and then spread to neighboring islands. These formative years are recalled at the cemetery of the Anglican Church at Middle Island, where the tombstone of Sir Thomas Warner, the first English governor of the West Indies, survives. At the Wingfield Estate in Old Road Town, an indefatigable Yorkshireman, Maurice Widdowson, has spent years excavating and restoring the ruins of the first working rum estate and distillery in the Caribbean. A self-guided trail tells its story from the early days of tobacco and indigo to the rise of sugarcane. 4. Try diving and water sports in Bonaire. The arid, low-lying Dutch island of Bonaire is one of the best destinations in the Caribbean for underwater thrills thanks to a decision taken in 1979 to protect its entire coastline to a depth of 200 featuring. The result is a pristine reserve where corals and marine life have flourished. A further bonus is that more than 50 of its dive spots are accessible from the shore, with well-established operators such as Dive Friends Bonaire offering the chance to experience it all. There's also plenty for snorkelers to enjoy at sites such as Pink Beach and the uninhabited island of Klein Bonaire. 5. Sample Caribbean country music in St. Lucia. Calypso, reggae and steel pan drums might be hallmarks of Caribbean music, but that's not the story on St. Lucia. This super scenic isle has an unexpected passion for American-style country music that developed in the 1940s when there were 2 U.S. military bases here. The bittersweet lyrics about broken hearts, lonely nights, small-town bars and pickup trucks struck a chord in this vivid land of hummingbirds, mangoes and soaring volcanic peaks, and it stuck with the generations. Pop into a supermarket and you'll likely hear Dolly Parton or Kenny Rogers crooning away over the speakers. There are country music shows on the radio, flyers advertising Back in Time, dances and bars where your jerk chicken and piton beer may well come with a side of Loretta Lynn. 6. Sample local delicacies in Grenada. Grenada, along with its sister islands Carriacou and Petite Martinique, was recently declared the world's first culinary capital by the World Food Travel Association, and this green and mountainous nation certainly has plenty to offer food enthusiasts. Must-visit spots include the deliciously scented nutmeg processing station in Goyave and the River Antoine Estate Distillery, which has been producing fiery rums since 1785. The Spice Isle has also made a name for itself with its handful of tree-to-bar artisan chocolate makers, good going for a place with only 112,000 inhabitants. The annual Grenada Chocolate Fest, usually held in May, sees themed events hosted across the island. A good starting point for a self-guided trail is the House of Chocolate in the capital, St. George's. While you're in town, go for lunch at Sales Restaurant and Bar, on the waterfront, to try local treats such as carambola juice, fried plantain and coconut ice cream. 7. Kitesurf the coast in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The tiny islands of the Grenadines are an exhilarating playground where sunshine, ocean and sky come together in a frenzy of water-based sports activities. The gateway for flying into this aquatic paradise is Union Island, but many visitors also sail in by yacht or catamaran to the Tobago Cays Archipelago, a marine park of dazzling beauty. Here, you can swim and snorkel with turtles in 28 sea waters that are mesmerizingly clear, while paddleboarders and kite surfers coast back and forth across a turquoise sea. Salt Whistle Bay, a long, curving beach on the island of Mayaro, protected from rougher waves by an outcrop of land, is another magnet for visitors. 8. The best of beach life in Anguilla. Where are the best beaches in the Caribbean? Anguilla is a strong contender, not least because this orderly British overseas territory has 33 of them to enjoy. Arid and low-lying, the slender isle is just 16 miles long and home to a mere 15,000 residents, meaning its brochure-perfect sands never get crowded. What's more, these classic runways of spotless white powder are bordered by warm, clear waters, where show-off fish dally and passing turtles give snorkelers a friendly wave. All the resorts in Anguilla are low-rise and most are high-end, having been rebuilt and improved after Hurricane Irma in 2017. Top of the bill are the glamorous Maluhana, which rests on the cliffs at Meads Bay, and isolated Cap Jaluca, set beside the crescent of Moundies Bay. A more affordable option is Caramar Beach Club, also on Meads Bay, which offers 1- and 2-bedroom self-catering villa suites. 9. Explore the street art in Curaçao. The Caribbean is a region that explodes with colors and patterns, from flamboyant marine life to brightly painted homes and exuberant carnival costumes. On the Dutch island of Curaçao, 40 miles north of Venezuela, even commercial buildings come in vivid ice cream hues, most notably in the center of its UNESCO World Heritage. Listed capital, Willemstad, where a much-photographed parade of slender gabled townhouses rises beside the waters of Sint Anna Bay. 10. Check into historic hotels in Nevis. Nevis is where the fine idea of taking a Caribbean holiday began. It was here in 1778 that the region's first purpose-built resort, the Bathhouse Hotel, was opened by a local merchant, John Huggins, complete with a ballroom, Italian gardens and thermal spa. A few years later, Horatio Nelson sailed in and married a local widow, Fanny Nisbet, with the Prince of Wales giving away the bride. You can still dip your feet in the soothingly hot volcanic waters where this hotel originally stood, while the marriage record of the naval hero can be seen in the nearby St. John's Figtree Anglican Church. 11. Discover surprising stories in Montserrat. Passport stamps may have become an endangered species, but in green and mountainous Montserrat visitors are lucky enough to get one shaped like a shamrock. This little visited British overseas territory was first settled in the 1630s by Irish Catholics, and the two Emerald Isles have stayed connected. The national flag features a Celtic harp and St. Patrick's Day is a spirited public holiday that mixes Guinness and soca music. Like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel.